Hey everyone, David Voltson from Emotional Embuffination here, and in this video I want to talk to you just a little bit about your morning routine. Now, I'm going to offer you some suggestions that I run through as my morning routine, but your morning routine is inherently going to be different than mine. It may be very similar, but you have to adapt things to match you. So your routine might include something that is not in my routine. You might have more things, fewer things. You might have to change things around a little bit, do stuff differently, because we're all running on very different kinds of schedules, different mornings. Sometimes your morning starts in the evening for me. For example, if you have an overnight shift, you're probably waking up when I'm winding down. Or you might have some funky thing in your schedule that's going to require you change things. Maybe you have kid requirements that are going to involve doing something slightly different. My own personal routine is a little bit variable because I have some mornings where I have to be at some faraway court super early in the morning, and then other mornings where that's not the case, in which case I've intentionally constructed something that will allow me to do kind of the same thing on days when I have to be far away, but allows me a more expanded routine on days when I don't have to deal with that. So take these as a set of ideas, what I'm about to offer you, but it doesn't necessarily have to match up exactly with this. Just adapt it to your routine, experiment with some things, see what's going to work for you, and then stick to that routine. Now, the very first step in my morning routine begins the day before. And that is to say, when you're about to go to bed, before you actually wake up and you're thinking through the following day, as part of your nighttime routine, you need to start lining yourself up for the morning. And that can be things like, have you ironed your shirts? Have you prepared all your clothes so that you're not going to have all these extra steps in the morning to have to run through that are going to consume all this time that are going to distract you from some more important things you could be doing in the morning? Have you gotten gas in your car? Are you going to have to stop in the morning and that's going to take a bunch of time when you're potentially running late for work anyway? Think these things through. Stop before you go to bed and say, okay, what am I going to need in the morning? And what can I do now that's going to make my morning easier? Your morning routine begins the night before. And one of the single most important elements of this is making sure that you are getting sleep. I had so many years where I completely underestimated how important this was, and it is so critical that you get yourself to sleep at a reasonable time so that when you get up in the morning, you're not having to combat this extra layer of tiredness because you didn't get to sleep on time and you haven't given yourself minimum 7 hours of sleep. You've got to get to sleep on time. This is so important. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you don't get to sleep on time, you are sabotaging the entire rest of your day. It is very, very important. Once I actually wake up, the first thing that I'm looking at, it used to be, I would try to just go out and get some exercise. And I felt like I was always having trouble with this because I would wake up and my first thought was, okay, I gotta go to the gym. I don't want to do that because I just woke up and I'm freaking tired. And the result was I frequently didn't go to the gym. I would just kind of whine for a few minutes and roll around in bed, and then I just didn't, and then my morning was shot and I hadn't really done anything in the morning. So instead, I started adding some things in before I actually got to the exercise part of my morning. And so now the first thing that I do is I hydrate myself. And not only do I get some liquid into my system, but I try to get something that is going to give me some nutritional value. It's going to give me some kinds of vitamins, B12, some people like green tea. There's various things you can get into your body, but the main objective here is to get yourself energized. I personally have been using these most recently. These are called Zip Fizz, which you can get at Costco. I imagine you can get them other places. That's where I get them. And you don't have to use this specifically. There's a million products out there that you can run through, but this gets some stuff into my system so I can start moving and my body starts kicking into gear. Once I have gone through this hydration phase of my morning, the next thing that I do is meditation. Now, we're going to do another video where I'm going to talk about some specific techniques that you can use to do meditation, but suffice it to say for this video that you have to get meditation somewhere in your daily routine. It doesn't necessarily have to be the morning, although I would recommend that you do this in the morning because it's a fantastic way to kick off your day. But do it somewhere at a minimum, just because there's actually quite a bit of research out there showing that there are massive benefits that can come from doing a regular meditation routine. And they extend from the psychological benefits to the physiological benefits. There's just a lot there. So please get into that routine. I'm gonna have another video where we talk about how to do meditation, but for now, just find a way to incorporate that. And it doesn't even have to be that long. If you haven't ever done it before, I'd say start at like 5 minutes or something, but on a regular basis, you can do something between 10 and 15 minutes, and you're gonna get some major benefits from that. Make meditation a part of your routine. The next thing that I do is I jump to exercise. And by that point, I don't have that horrible feeling I described a few minutes ago with waking up where I'm like, By that point, I've hydrated. I've got some nutrients in my body's starting to kick into gear there. I've spent some time doing a meditation where I'm breathing in and out and my body's starting to feel oxygenated. And so every time I get to the end of the meditation part of this and I think, okay, time to get some exercise, it really doesn't feel bad at all to me. I just think, oh, okay, gym time, and that's it. And then I just go into my routine. And when I do that, I've been consistently hitting every work day, I'm doing some kind of workout. And that's gonna have overall benefits. There are massive, massive benefits. And there's a ton of research out there about the benefits of just getting some sort of exercise to start your day off. There are cognitive benefits. If you have not already read it, please check out the book Spark, which talks about all sorts of research that will come of just getting some sort of physical activity in the morning. If you can go to the gym, that's great. If you can't, you don't have to go to the gym. Just get something in, even if it's just a walk or a run. I mentioned earlier that I have this variable routine in the morning where sometimes I have to be off at some faraway court, and sometimes I have a lot of time to kind of mess around and do whatever I need to in the mornings. And because of that, I've adapted a shifting routine where if I've got plenty of time in the morning, I will run off to the gym and I'll do a full workout routine. If I don't have time because I've got to be somewhere far away and I don't want to like alter my sleep schedule every day, what I will do is this like abbreviated physical routine where I will just, before I take a shower, I will just run over and start doing a whole bunch of push-ups or a bunch of squats or something just to get my blood flowing. It doesn't have to be like a full hour-long routine. I don't have to drive for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, to get to the gym and then drive back again and suddenly I've eaten up an hour and a half of my morning. Instead, you can just right in your bathroom, just drop and do whatever, just some body weight exercises just to get your body moving and get some of those benefits that come of physical exercise. The last thing that I do is a gratitude exercise. And this one's really simple. You can do it while you're driving or when you're out on your way. But what I personally do is I try to identify the thing that is most irritating me currently. I will say, all right, what is the person or thing that is causing me the most grief in my life, and what positive thing is there that I can say about that thing? What thing can I say about that person or thing that shows that I'm grateful for that thing's existence? I'm going to explain this a little more in the book that I'm writing on emotional embuffination, but there's some research supporting this too, that you're going to have, again, psychological and physiological changes that result because of going through a regular gratitude practice. And if you're doing it about something that is your opponent or your adversary or something that's just creating you a lot of problems, that's going to alter the mental framework that you are approaching this other person or thing with. And it's going to change the way you interact with them and in positive ways. Now, that's about it for my personal morning routine. A little bit later in the day, I do a journaling exercise, although I don't do that until typically when I get to work from all of this other stuff. So for me, it's a little detached, but that's another thing you could incorporate in here. I will soon be publishing a journal with a lot of guided prompts and a lot of free writing options. It's not out yet, but I will, as soon as it is out, I will post the link at the bottom of this video. So please check it out if you want any sort of structure to the way that you're doing some journaling, or if you want some exercises that will help you to start to foster a different kind of mindset than something that you're currently with, if that's not where you want to be, or if you just want to find some sort of improvement in the way that you're mentally approaching life. Another major one you can do as part of your morning routine, and I don't put this in my morning routine because I do it at night, but I know a lot of people that do this, is getting yourself some sort of education. You can do reading if you have books, and you should always be reading, and not just fictional nonsense. I mean, you should be regularly reading something that is constructive and oriented to self-growth. Please do this at some point in your day. And one of the things that I personally like to do is listen to audiobooks. So typically after I've gone through all of this morning routine, I will jump in my car and I will play an audiobook on my way to work or the port or wherever it is I'm going. And so I'm still getting that sort of educational piece in the morning. There's a lot of other things that you can pile into your morning routine. These are some really important ones, and I would encourage you to consider all of the things that I've said here. And if you have some other ideas, I would love to hear them. Please post them in the feed below the YouTube video here, or comment on the website, either way, and give me some ideas. What are you guys doing that I haven't touched on here? And maybe I can improve my routine. If these are not things that you're already doing, incorporate them in and let me know how it's going. If you have not already done so, please check out my website, which is www.embuffination.com. And also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Emotional Embuffination.